Now, over the years, I reckon the main thing for me is that the chiropractors have been around for a long time and who basically thrive long time are the ones who are steadfast in their principles. Okay, they don't just flip and flop between the latest trends or the fads that are out there. I think it's really important that we try and stay true to our principles. Challenges are going to happen. I don't think that anybody who's been in practice long enough will ever say to you there's never a challenge. And it's important to have those challenges because it makes you grow. It's really important to embrace those challenges and learn from them, grow from them. And I've certainly had a lot of challenges too. But the good thing is each time I learn something from that and I grow and my practice is better for it. And those who've been in practice will probably agree with that, I'm hoping. This is the thing I want you to remember. There is no secret. I think the biggest thing is that sometimes we always look for the magic bullet. We always look for the magic formula. Look for the one thing that will grow your practice. There isn't, okay? I think this is a pointer. So basically, consistency is your key. Progress is what you want. And fundamentals are your modus operandi. I think it's important that we understand that you've just got to be consistent. Flopping and chopping and changing like this all the time, it's energy sapping. It's tiring. You end up being disgruntled and you're always thinking, what's the next best thing? But if you're always consistent and you're always looking at the progress you've made and then in turn looking forward to the progress you continue to make, you'll always be able to stick to the fundamentals and you'll never stick to, flop and change between fads, and then you'll in turn never fail. Okay, and I feel like this is sort of like the basis to which how I've been able to consistently have a successful practice for 6 years now. Okay, so for me, looking back, one thing I will really say that is really quite a reminder that is so imperative to me that I always remind myself about is chiropractic is not a job, it's not a profession. I've always espoused that it's a calling, okay? And the reason I say that is because of my own personal experience. And some of the students may have heard me when I've talked about this before, is I was never going to be a chiropractor. I was at school, I was going to be an engineer. All my uncles, my dad, everybody was an engineer of some sort. So I was destined to become an engineer. And those things where you go do work experience in high school, in year 10, back then anyway. I didn't get any of my choices. They had 5 choices. I had no choices that were given to me to be an engineer. So I remember distinctly, and I never forget this, because my careers advisor sat me in his office on the Thursday afternoon and he says, Kim, you got to do something. So he's literally, back then too, there was no internet, so he'd flick open what they call the CS job guide book. And that job guide book listed all the jobs and all the qualifications you need for that job. So he flicked open and he says, you're going to a chiropractor. And I said, a what? I didn't even know what a chiropractor was. I actually thought it was the foot doctor, And he goes, no, that's a chiropodist. And I go, oh, okay, right. So I turned up on Monday and I was very honest to the chiropractor. I said, listen, I'm not even supposed to be here. I was put here because I need to do something. And God bless him, and he recently just passed to one of those, my mentors, Dr. Alan Wigg, any of those who know him. He inspired me so much. By Wednesday, I knew that I was going to be a chiropractor for the rest of my entire life. By Wednesday. So I never take for granted that moment. And I could have been an engineer, right? But I wasn't. And why? Because I think that chiropractic was like that calling. And to me, that it always rings true. And I will never, ever forget that.